Hi everybody, Matt and Tyson back with you here on ArizonaCoyotes.com. Tyson, middle of the summer and we're wearing these jackets.
Feels good to be back.
It does feel good, and training camp is right around the corner and we're pretty excited. A lot of changes. Let's first talk about the coaching staff. All new staff, 2 new assistants for Rick Tocchet. They are John McClain and Scott Allen. They come over with prior National Hockey League experience. But what about Rick Tocchet? 18 seasons as a player in the National Hockey League. He spent 2.5 seasons as a player for the Phoenix Coyotes back in the day. But with Rick Tocchet, I think we know what we're going to get.
Well, first of all, credibility is what Rick Tocchet brings as a player, which is so important. And as a coach, he's got 3 Stanley Cups in total, 1 as a player, 2 as a coach. He's coached some of the best players in the world, and this is a guy that knows how to get it done. And a young team, how do you not soak up all that knowledge that Rick Tocchet is going to be dishing out this year to these young kids? You know, he wants to see them use their speed, use their skill, play to their talents, and you know, this is going to be a real interesting year, a new era under Rick Tocchet. I'm anxious to see what he can do as a head coach.
When I was talking to people back in Pittsburgh trying to get an idea of what Rick Tocchet is all about, 2 words always came up: communication and calmness. He has a calmness. If you watch him behind the bench, he does a lot of listening. We saw what he did with superstar Phil Kessel in Pittsburgh. We wonder if that's going to carry over here in Arizona.
Well, and I think it will. This is a guy, he was my assistant coach here when I was a player with the, then at the time, the Phoenix Coyotes, and he was a player's coach. You felt so comfortable going to Rick and sitting down with him and asking him questions, and you know, he always had the right answer. He's so knowledgeable in every single category, every single department, and when you're a young player, that's what you need. These kids are so anxious and eager to learn the game, especially at the NHL level, and I think Rick's the perfect guy. You talked about Scott Allen as well. A lot of American Hockey League experience.
Good penalty kill guy, right?
Yeah, I think last year he was in charge of Florida's penalty kill that was 2nd in the National Hockey League. So that's going to be important because that was a real you know, tough point for the Coyotes last year. But he brings that teaching mentality as well because he spent so much time with young players in the American League. And he knows, again, like Rick, how to get to these young players, how to teach them.
Johnny McClain's a guy too. If you go back to his career, mainly with the New Jersey Devils, he's the other assistant on Rick Tocchet's staff. He's a guy that could put the puck in the net.
Only 413 career goals. That's it. No big deal. So go figure. He's going to be in charge of the power play this year for the Coyotes, as well as tinkering with the forwards as well. You know, teaching these young kids what not only to do with the puck and to have confidence in their abilities, because the Coyotes, they have a ton of talent, but also what to do when you don't have the puck, where to go, how to get in those scoring areas. So I think it's an all-star coaching staff this year, another great signing for the Coyotes.